On today's episode, we're going to travel to Massachusetts to my good friend Daniel Danger's private Batcave lair of madness. To my knowledge, he has the largest collection of Electro-Harmonix pedals in the world. We're going to sit down, dig through a bunch that I've never played, maybe learn about them. It's going to be crazy. He has a problem, and it's a problem I really don't want to fix. I want to enable him. So that's what this episode's all about. Let's get it going. I'm here in Southampton, Massachusetts.
East Hampton.
Is there a Northampton?
Yes.
Is there a West?
There is.
We're in the Hamptons. Is that correct?
No.
No, not the Hamptons. Anyway, we're here in Massachusetts. This is my friend Daniel Danger. We met through this book that we did where we showed our collections in rare pedals. I have a lot of Electro-Harmonix pedals, but they're very like white bread. They're like, oh, here's all the stuff that people know about. And I thought it was cool. And then I saw Daniel's collection, and he has stuff I'd never heard of and never seen, and these prototypes and crazy things. So how did you get here? You have how many, like this entire wall, this room is like dedicated to this.
Pretty much. I mean, there's hundreds of Electro-Harmonix pedals. There's probably about north of 500 with everything else, including like my main focus is Electro-Harmonix, but there's a lot of Mistress stuff and Univox stuff and random, but Electro-Harmonix is like my heart and soul.
You've been collecting 20-ish years?
Yeah, I got my first pedal in probably 1999, and it was an Ibanez Sound Tank, the Delay, my favorite Delay of all time. And I got my first muff in, like I said, probably 2000, 2001. And somewhere in there, I had a friend who's an older kid, and he had a suitcase full of pedals, and he had a bunch of Electro-Harmonix stuff in there, like a baseballs and a Dr. Q, I think. It just instantly just clicked with me, and I love the way things look, the aesthetics, everything. And they were just big noise Legos, and I just dove right in. The fun thing about Electro-Harmonix is that the tree never ends. There's just variations and weirdness and things that shouldn't exist, and that's all my favorite stuff. They're the weirdest pedal line.
It's unbelievable to see like I think I know something, then I see another colorway, or an inverted print, or some random version that doesn't exist, or a prototype. This experience being here has been completely bonkers.
I mean, I'm 20 years into an obsessive collection. Like when I say that I think about Electro-Harmonix every day, I think about Electro-Harmonix every day for 20 years. And that's its own story, but it's like, even as early as 3 days ago, I saw things I had never seen before.
Yes.
And there's very few hobbies where you can be 20 years into something and go, I've never seen that, I've never seen that, I've never seen that. And that's just super fun. It's just like, it's a blast. I mean, like they let the designers in the 70s and 80s try really weird things, and Mike supported really weird visions. And the result is some amazingly strange stuff.
So these are your favorites. You pulled them out, we're gonna jam on them. So why are these your favorites, and what's first?
I think the things that are generally my favorite are the things that kind of are too weird to live, failed as a product, or just like do unexpected things. So a lot of what's here are like this, which is an almost unusable item, but the sounds you get out of it, you will never recreate again. It is.
I've never seen this in person. I've never played it, so this will be interesting.
Yeah, so there was probably only ever about 25 of these made, and actually I think there's about 50 made, but according to like the designers and people I've talked to, the majority of them failed within like the first year or two. They just weren't soldered right, so very few have survived. I've tracked down 2 of these. I think they are the funnest thing to play with, even if it's so impractical you could never use it for recording or anything. It's just, you sit there and have the fun of turning knobs and just diving into it.
What year? Is this like 70s, obviously?
Early 80s.
Early 80s?
Yeah.
It's wacko. All right, I'll play this. You're gonna play bass. What are you gonna throw on the bass?
I'm going to play one of the very first big muffs ever built. This is
the perf board.
This is on perf board. The perf board is in a different place than usual. This was probably made on the very first day that Mike was actually assembling these. If Mike actually, if it was Mike who actually did it. But
This is the only one I've ever seen with that position on the board as well. So they hadn't quite figured out how to produce them.
Yeah, so the board is horizontal. The perf board is horizontal in this, and it made getting the case off, because this is all like, a lot of it's like point-to-point wired in here and just bird's nesty. So if you try to take the case off, it's a very good chance you're gonna clip something and pull it out. So very quickly he adjusted it so it would go vertical, but this is a horizontal one, meaning it was basically, he made a couple before he realized nuts to this, and changed it.
Signed by Bob Meyer. It's another story, but that's cool.
Signed by Bob Meyer. It's different than a triangle muff. Basically, not just like, you know, it says fuzz instead of tone, but like these knobs operate a little bit differently. It sounds a little bit differently. It's a very, very fun little guy.
All right, let's jam.
Where's the drums at?
In the box.
In the box?
In the box?
In the box?
In the box. Follow me. In the box.
We should name our band. That jam was pretty solid. What do you think?
Trucker speed.
Trucker speed? Yeah. Wait, I'm getting a phone call. Hello? Major label. That's a lot. Like $10 million contract. You ready for that? No. We're pretty busy. We have like a YouTube thing that monetizes. All right, bye.
Also, I don't want to be a corporate sellout.
What's up next? What you got?
One of my next choices is the Deluxe Octave Multiplexer with sensitivity knob.
Sensitivity. What's sensitivity?
Sensitivity. It's like sensitivity.
But it's more sensitive.
But yeah, because it's less letters. This is basically, as far as I'm concerned, like 70s, like Sabbath rock in a box. It doesn't track well. It sounds strange.
I like that.
It has this weird subharmonic thing that like just kind of sounds like weird, like angry dinosaurs. And a strange fuzz circuit built into it. I love this pedal. It just sounds like nothing else. I don't want to say it sounds good. It just sounds like nothing else, and that's usually what I want in a pedal. It's just a blast to play.
What do I have here?
You have a Mogwai Muff.
Mogwai Muff. How many of these were made?
Between 50 and 100, depending on who you ask. I think it's 100. They were given to record executives to promote the release of Mogwai's album Rock Action in the early 2000s. They almost entirely went to record executives, many of which didn't play music, so they just got thrown in basements and such. every once in a while, one will pop up in someone's estate sale or whatever, as someone didn't pay their, storage locker fee.
I don't have this pedal at home. I've kind of wanted this pedal. I don't have it.
I don't have this pedal, and I'm gonna say that. I just have to have that pedal.
And you also have the box. You want to hold it and say you have the box?
He has the box.
He has the box.
Oh, we've yet to show the pedal. We should
You've got to
probably
show the pedal. It has a little bit of that like unobtainium vibe to it, where people are convinced it sounds better because it's rare. It is just a normal early 2000s $50 Big Muff. There's nothing different about it. But you get these people in forums who are like, no, it's got more high gain. Like, nope, they just printed a new thing on there. But Mogwai was a favorite band of mine since the late 90s. And when this existed, it was like the merging of two great interests of mine. And I had to have it. And it took me a long time to find one.
This also says rock in action, which for EHX is like, it just doesn't, they never do that.
Yeah,
Cool.
They didn't do clever knob names, but
You would think they would.
the designs are largely very like mechanical and like clean, and then the sounds are just insanity. It's just, it's a pedal that's by one of my favorite bands, and it's one of my favorite pedal companies, and it's all my favorite things combined, and it's in the fun box.
Let's do it. Let's jam. What's next? What are we doing? What are you going to play?
I'm going to play a Sovtek Electric Mistress prototype. It was never released.
Yeah.
There are, I think, 6 or 7 of these made. You can only know how many exist. You can never really know how many production samples were made. We do know that a lot of Electro-Harmonix prototypes ended up in trash. It is a fact that we now know. In current existence, 5, 6, 7 of these maybe. They're all a little bit different. The casings are all a little bit different. And this is mine. And I found it at a shop in New York. They didn't know what it was. It was on my birthday, so it was a very special gift to me.
So this is, Mike has lost the trademark. He's started this new sensor Sovtek thing, and he's seeing the vintage stuff selling, so he's thinking reissuing. So he's done the Muff by now, and he's like, let's do the Mistress. What? In this line you have like baseballs and small stone. Those are pretty common
The
to
Big Muff
see.
the Big Muff and the small stone.
I see tons of those.
Yeah, they're out. There are baseballs. I think they did a very small run of them. Maybe 50, 100. And then he said there's only a handful of these because they never actually got out there.
I'm gonna do another pedal I've never played. Oh,
Flenger.
flenger. What is a flenger?
You should see the flenger I caught this weekend.
He's a big boy.
16-foot yacht.
Man, I like a broiled flenger.
I like lemon on my flenger.
Can you descale my flenger? I've never played this. Can't find. Well, they pop up and the price is so bad. There's one right now, I think. I just refuse to pay that much.
It is the like when you go to like a cowboy bar and they have the mechanical bowl of in there.
Yeah.
This is the mechanical bowl of pedals. If you can ride this thing, kudos to you. There are very few people who can pull it off.
So Nels Cline.
Nels Cline does it beautifully. There's a couple other people I've seen do it. It's just one of those things you have to just sit down and you dive into it, and then whatever happens, happens. I've had tons of like late night fun. Like when my daughter was born and I was just like up all night, I was just in the basement, like literally just putting loops and just kind of go like having the Zen garden of just moving things around.
So 16-second digital delay with Magna storage. Oh, another pedal I've never seen.
For the sake of discussion, this is the pedal that predates this. This is the 2-second digital delay, but it doesn't have a lot of the same features as this one.
What year? This is like early 80s as well?
Yeah.
So this is, one thing I know about this from an interview I did with Mike is this tech was crazy. No one had done this. Mm-hmm. And when he goes bankrupt, he ends up needing to sell the tech, and Akai bought it. So you see like the phase, the loopers and all. Yeah, is that a box?
He has the box.
So he sells this tech, and that's where we see like the head fade, like those delays. Is head rush? Head rush?
Head
Akai,
rush.
yeah.
Yeah.
But this is revolutionary.
Well, buckle up.
Yeehaw. That was the most chaotic and insane jam I've been involved in today.
That's what's fun about it. It's just weird, and you have to just accept it and ride the weirdness and ride the snake, you know?
Yeah, it's like, I'm not a bull rider, and I can't hold on for a full 8 seconds, but I held on.
Well, I decided we needed more flanger in our lives, so
Yeah.
I used more flanger.
I'm gonna play, because I've never played a real one, Attack Decay. You've seen the reissue on the show a bit, but it has presets and stuff.
It's different. It's a completely different pedal.
Presets are exhausting. It's gonna be the OG, whatever that is, because I never played it. You keep saying it's different. I've never played this.
It's fun.
It's never happened. Do you have a
He has the box.
What year is this? 70s?
I mean, I don't know because it's just like,
think
you know, they made it for a little while, so I don't entirely know, to be honest.
It's weird because there's no mid-late 80s. I don't want to derail, but what would they have done?
I don't know. I mean, they're kind of got into these big rack units. They kind of got into like non-guitar effects. They got into a lot of like weird promotional items and like novelty things.
Like this. And earlier, I played slide with this thing.
Which is just an LED tube that you like wave in the club.
Yeah. It's like a dance accessory. All right. I'm going to simulate some tape delay. with distortion.
I'm gonna flange.
Yeah.
Flange all day long.
That was a killer jam. I just got another call from a record label. Turned them down again.
How much did they offer?
It's only 10 million. That said, the other guy offered 20. Honorable mentions. We could do this for hours.
The whole collection is honorable mentions. That's the issue, and there's so much weirdness everywhere. I can tell you the things that that excite me the most. The solid state reverb. Once again, it's kind of it's like a production prototype. Like they made some to see what it would look like in a final thing. Never came out. I think this is actually one of the last things that was. I think this basically got killed in the cutoff. This is like a desert island pedal for me, and that I don't say that just because it's like literally impossible to find. It sounds beautiful to me. It's exactly what I want in like a weird, janky, digital reverb. I spent, I don't know, a decade plus trying to find this. Like, not the pedal, just the box. There's a photo of this box that showed up on effects database. And I've never seen that. What is that? Well, I've never seen it. Is it a store display? What is it? And so I was like obsessing over this, and I could never find another one. Like I never could find another picture of it. Never mind, the actual box. Nothing for 10, a decade plus. And then somewhat recently, it just showed up at a Seattle guitar shop, and
the box?
No, with the pedal. I think whoever sold it just found a really clean Ram's head and put it in here and was like, new old stock. When this arrived and I looked at it, I realized that the box was the one from the photo that I've been looking at for all this time. So is this the only box? Because Mike doesn't have one.
There can't be any of these left. Yeah, we messaged Mike. He's like, yeah, I remember this. We made a few.
It has really funny text in the back. You can play chords with the Big Muff. All Electro-Harmonix units are compatible and modular. Use a screaming bird with a Big Muff for those piercing high highs that make the teeny boppers quiver. It's just, I don't know, it just makes me warm and happy. There needs to be an even bigger, grander He Has the Box for this one.
He has the box.
This was a recent find that you were with me when I found it, and
we're having to withhold a lot of...
Oh my God, we're having to withhold so much. This was found in literal trash.
We dug through trash together for a day.
Yeah, we did, and this was found in trash. Because once I realized that cool things in these amazing things were in the trash, we had to go through all the trash.
All of it.
And this is the first thing I found in the trash.
So why is this special? It's a triangle. Yeah, it's a triangle.
It is a...
It's like, oh, triangle case. There's no circuit. That's not cool.
Yeah, no, but it is cool. Because this font here appears on no other Big Muffs. This was made for this advertisement. I think this little text wouldn't have shown up in an ad this small. So they made one with bigger text that could be read in the ad. That's my theory anyways, don't know. I've been seeing this one picture, because they took one photo and they used it for a couple different ads. I've been seeing this photo for 20 years now, and I just naturally assumed I would never in a million years see this. So when I found it in a pile of trash, my instinct was I grabbed it and I ran outside and just paced around my truck for a little bit holding it.
I saw you disappear and you just came back later.
Yes. I don't want to say it's the first triangle Big Muff case, but it's something. It's something really special.
Yeah,
to me anyways.
I've never seen, first of all, until you explained it to me, I've seen this ad, but I'd never caught the font change.
It's so nerdy because it's not even a pedal, but for the aesthetic like designer in me, I was just unbelievably thrilled that like, A, I found it and it was me that found it, and B, that it's safe, you know, like because this would have been gone, but that's another story. So I think finally, the Clockworks. The Clockworks is a polyrhythmic control voltage generator. And basically there was a line of these units, of which there was the space drum, the sonic boomer, the crash pad, the rolling thunder, the panic button, you know, clap track, the sequencer. This entire cabinet is filled with these kind of synth and sampler and drum units. And this was the brain for them. So you could take the drum machine that has a clock out, and you'd run the clock out into the in out, and then you could send these signals to the individual drum units to trigger them, and then run everything into a mini mixer, of which there's like a half dozen over there, and you'd have this giant tabletop setup where it's just like space disco. This is kind of one of those things that just kind of represents a really just like fun hunt. It was just, you know, yeah, I had to find it in some weird, you know, Eastern European country. And it's just so fun. Like, it's another one of those things that fits into the Electro-Harmonix vibe, that weirder is better. Everything about the era is just unbelievably fun, so.
All right, let's do a record time. I hold in my hands XCRIMEDOGX. Daniel made this record. It's a little hard to talk about your own stuff, but I'm just gonna start off saying it's crazy, it's really good, and when you first sent me one, I thought this will be cute. So CRIMEDOG, I grew up with CRIMEDOG in elementary school. He was telling us how to not live. CRIMEDOG.
Don't do drugs.
Explain Bark today.
In elementary school, they would send this cassette to elementary schools as part of the DARE program, where McGruff would sing songs about anti-bullying and no drugs and no alcohol and don't, you know, like drugs that elementary school kids don't even have access to, like speed. It's like, don't do speed, sixth grader.
Yeah.
And they would send a puppet to teachers. And the idea was that the teacher would like sing the McGruff songs off the cassette. All of the songs were kind of bangers. Like, they were just like weirdly good. And they all had this segment in them. There was always a part of every song where McGruff would talk to the kids, and you'd have like a lecture to them while music played in the background. And what that reminded me of is like 80s straight edge, drug-free, like, you know, East Coast, West Coast hardcore, where there'd always be like a preachy part of the song during the breakdown, like the heavy breakdown would be like, don't disrespect your friends, blah, blah, blah. And it just reminded me of that. So I had the seriously dumb idea to cover all the McGruff the CRIMEDOG songs as 80s straight edge hardcore.
Yeah, make your body last. I'm glad I'm me. Marijuana, don't try it. Alcohol, don't be a dope. And inhalants, don't do them.
Yeah.
And crack and cocaine.
So the covers are all like, you know, like Gorilla Biscuits knockoff and Minor Threat, but with McGruff. And I just did it for fun, and it's way better than it should be, as far as I'm concerned. Like, it surprises me.
Yeah,
Like, it's just kind of a fun.
I was
goofy
spinning
record.
it in the shop one day, and people kept coming in like, this is really good.
It's so stupid.
So
I'm endlessly proud of it.
You have some copies. You're gonna figure out how many. And
Yeah.
then we'll have a link, I guess, if you want to
There's
sell
not
them.
a ton left, because we did like a pretty run of like 300 or something like that.
But you can download it.
Yeah, it's on Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. XCRIMEDOGX.
This is what I do with my time.
Thanks for watching this. Thanks, Daniel, for diving into this crazy madness. Also, in this building here, where your studio is, Healy Guitars.
Trevor Healy.
These are amazing. Check those out. BandLab, you can download the stems to these jams.
You're giving people the stems?
And you can jam with us. How do you feel about that? Because we're not part of the system.
Buckle up.
Buckle up, Buttercup. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Give a shameless plug real quick. Instagram, your tiny media empire.
I work under the name Daniel Danger. I'm the easiest person in the world to find on the internet. Tiny Media Empire, which is my company on Instagram and Twitter and all those things. But Daniel Danger, you will find me. I make art, I make screen prints. They're over there.
They're amazing. Check them out. That's it. You know, we could sit here for a lot longer rambling, but we're done. So like it or don't, subscribe or don't, hit the bell thing or don't. You have choices.